Hey YouTubers, this is a first impressions video of my Ultra Bee, and I brought out my Light Bee to kind of give a point of reference of a quick comparison between the two. So I just went on my first real ride on my Ultra Bee. Real ride meaning more than just down the street and back. I rode around the neighborhood, I rode through some trails, and first impression is that bike is really awesome. It does definitely live up to the hype. Some things that I couldn't get out of the video was that sport mode, you've got to be careful off the bat. Even out of the box with the default settings, it's gonna pop a wheelie if you crank it. It's gonna rear up on you, so you got to be ready for that. So I ended up putting it in daily mode to drive it around and do my little test. And towards the end, I put it back in sport mode. I just didn't gun it from a standstill. So yeah, something to be aware of. The other thing is the reverse feature is super cool and much more handy than you would imagine. When you get in trails and you need to turn around, it's a really useful feature to have. The third thing is the bike. It's just, I mean, any pictures or video, including this one that you find online, just don't do it justice to how great it looks. Even like small details, like the frame is a dark green. It's not black, and it's beautiful. It's a beautiful color. I like the stickers on it. I like the way they did the plastics. I mean, there's so much to love about this bike, and it drives wonderfully. So quickly, between the Ultra Bee and the Light Bee, which I've had for 6 months now, and I've probably done close to 20 upgrades on it. I haven't upgraded the battery or the controller or the motor, but I haven't upgraded the suspension, but I've made a bunch of other upgrades. I love this Light Bee. I ride it daily, and I made a number of videos with it. And but once you get on the Ultra Bee, you realize that the Light Bee is kind of a motorized mountain bike. And that's not to demean it in any way, but when you get on the Ultra Bee, you realize now you're on a motorcycle. It's just so much beefier and substantial. And when you move from just getting on the Light Bee after riding the Ultra Bee around the neighborhood and through some trails, you know, it feels like you're getting on a bicycle. And there's, in a sense, that's pretty awesome. And what I mean is, of the two, the Light Bee experience in a way is more extreme, because you're doing 45 miles an hour on a mountain bike essentially, and it's more, in a way, more of an extreme experience than the Ultra Bee. The Ultra Bee is, you know, you get on it, you know you're on a motorcycle, and it in a way doesn't surprise you as much if you're used to motorcycles. I've had a KTM 525 EXE and a DR 350. And I mean, it actually kind of feels, it's much lighter, but it has the same kind of feel as those bikes. It's got a lot of bottom end torque, but you know, the KTM had a lot of bottom end torque as well. You know, and when I ride it around and I get it up to speed around 50 miles an hour, you know, it feels similar to my DR 350 when I do that. So it doesn't feel like unfamiliar territory if you're used to dirt bikes. So if I was going to pick between the two, to be honest with you, and this is after just a little bit of riding on the Ultra Bee, I'm going to actually go with the Light Bee. Why? Because, you know, there's no point of reference for the Light Bee. I know there's some other alternatives now to the Light Bee, but before the Light Bee came along, there was just nothing. There was no point of reference for it. It's just like I said, an extreme mountain bike, and But there's other things that they're not electric but are similar to the Ultra Bee. And so if I had to only have one, you know, I would go with the Light Bee, to be honest with you. But I'm lucky that I'm able to get two. I had to sell one of my dirt bikes to be able to afford it. I had to sell the KTM, and I'm glad I did. I'm glad I did. I'm looking forward to a lot of fun on this Ultra Bee. But I think there's other bikes that could offer you a similar experience, non-electric bikes. But besides the Telaria Sting, and maybe a couple of others that you can mention, you know, there's really nothing that point of reference for this Light Bee. So if you could only buy one, which one would you buy? You can leave it a comment if you want to. My opinion is I would buy the Light Bee if I could only buy one, because I think, you know, on a daily basis I'm just going to do more with it. But the Ultra Bee, you know, I'm really excited about my future ridings that my future rides that I'm going to do on it. I'm super excited about it. I think in general, you know, you got to figure out what you want if you can only buy one. Do you want a motorcycle, or do you want an extreme, you know, motorized mountain bike? So I hope that doesn't sound like I'm putting down the Ultra in any way. I mean, as a machine, it's a far better machine in every way, you know, in every way. The comfort, the brakes, the suspension. I mean, bike to bike comparison, there's really no comparison between the two. The Ultra is what it says. It's Ultra, you know. And but you know, it all depends on what you're not going to ride the Ultra on bike trails, okay? You can't do that. You're not going to ride it on sidewalks. So there's other places, there's more places you can go with the Light Bee. I think I've made this video long enough. I'll do maybe a more in-depth comparison at some point. So that's kind of first impressions. Happy riding.